What's up? It's What's the Call? And this is episode 3. It's been a great week of college football, and we look forward to getting into week 4. Now, you might be like, Gavin, what is that entrance? Well, I had to let everybody know. Upset picks 2 and 0. I'm 2 and 0. And the Bees, baby. The Bees got it done down in GT.
The
Taking
Jackets.
down, yeah, I know. But they're Bees. They're Bees. Yellow Jackets took down the Tigers. Um, that was a great game. I wasn't able to watch it, but I was following it on my phone, unfortunately. Um, but anyways, I guess let's get into a little recap of week 3 college football. Some
Yeah.
things, some games went down. Some teams do not look strong. Um,
No, I
and
think the biggest thing that stood out to me is if you were a top ranked quarterback coming into the year, it's not looking too hot for you now.
exactly,
Arch
yeah,
Manning, DJ Lagway, Lenore Sellers, Cade Klubnik, all are struggling a ton. Um, Even Garrett Nussmeier. We see a lot of the QBs that were a little underrated that are um taking the top spot at college football right now.
yeah, yeah, exactly. So obviously, I guess with a little recap, we'll start off Georgia Tech, Clemson. Just talked about that. Clemson does not look good, and that's
No.
why I mainly picked them for my upset. Um, Dabo's threatening the school to fire him and see what happens with the program,
But he
but
gets wins. He used to get a
it's
lot of wins, so you can't fire him.
he used to get a lot of wins.
That's what he
Now
said
it's been kind
himself.
of rough.
I think the Clemson game was a little case of Georgia Tech is better too. It's not just Clemson was bad.
Yeah,
Georgia Tech is a way better team this year, and they have a very good chance now of going undefeated the rest of the year. Their schedule is pretty dog poop. Um, I'm just see if I can pull it up real quick.
yeah,
Yeah, the
that
rest
ace
of the
that.
year they have now Temple this week at Wake Forest, Virginia Tech home, at Duke, Syracuse home, at NC State, at Boston College, and Pitt home. That's the rest of their ACC, and then Georgia. So they could very well be an undefeated team going into last week,
Yeah,
playing Georgia.
yeah.
So
And they honestly they have a chance. I guess right now their only competition would be what? Miami?
yeah, but that would be ACC
Right.
championship.
Yeah, that would be
Yeah,
it.
the
Yeah.
ACC could be very, very weird this year. There's a potential
Yeah.
scenario
Yeah.
where their California right now is looking pretty good, and they also don't play Georgia Tech, Miami, Florida State, or Clemson on their schedule. So they somehow avoid all five of those teams. So there's a situation where Miami or Florida State could be undefeated in one loss because they have to play each other. So one team would be undefeated in conference play, one team would have one loss. Georgia Tech could be undefeated in conference play because they don't play Miami or Florida State or Cal. And then Cal could be undefeated in Florida or conference play because they don't play each other either. So you could have three undefeated conference teams and one loss conference team. I don't know what you do there to put in the conference championship, but I really hope that doesn't happen because I don't think Cal is like playoff caliber. But if they get to skate by playing a bunch of bad ACC teams and make the playoff, I think that would be a bad look, and it would take away a spot from a team that deserves it.
Yeah. ACC is definitely going to be weird, and it's not a very strong conference right now. And I haven't watched Cal play, but I've just been, hearing things around that their quarterback has been balling out and he has a chance um, to, I guess, do something special there. Um, but we'll see how it pans out. But anyways, get into these other games. Miami, South Florida. I know. that was kind of a
Yeah, that's
shocker a little bit. I didn't think South Florida was going to lose by that much.
yeah. I thought they'd
Um,
pose a better fight. Miami's
yeah,
just a good team.
but I really think that might just show too, like how weak Florida is. Um,
Yeah,
um, you know, I'm kind of glad South Florida didn't win that though, because then there would have been the argument of, oh, do we put South Florida at number one? And we would have
yeah.
had to go down but Miami handled business. Um, South Florida, good team, but you know, the teams they played, Boise State and Florida, were both overrated when they played them. So, um, next game.
Very
I know you were sweating on this one. Georgia, Tennessee.
much. Yeah, dude. Joey Aguilar. Tennessee pulled the biggest fleece job of all time, getting rid of Nico and getting Joey Aguilar. That he fits their system so well, and he just plays the position so well. I don't like it was the perfect trade. That's also shown us how bad Nico is. At UCLA is a dumpster fire, and I think yeah, the coach is gone. It's a bad situation, but Tennessee, they have elite receivers and they have a good quarterback and good offensive line and a pretty good running game. So their offense is really good, but their pitfall is I think their defense is better than it has been in the past, but not having two starting DBs and maybe not getting pass rush at certain times. Although they like, did get pretty good pass rush because Georgia did not have a right tackle the whole game. Ernest Green gets hurt every game, our starting right tackle. They put him in the backup. He acts like he's never played down a football in his life. So he had to go to the third string, which we didn't go to until the last drive of the game. And he's the only one who played competent football. The rest of the time is basically a free rusher off the edge. But Gunnar Stockton is real. Um, he he made some throws that were I was like, holy crap, I didn't know you could make that. Especially at the end of the game, 4th and 7, dropped one in the bucket. Um, the biggest thing that impressed me about Georgia is that they got into a shootout. They were able to outscore somebody else, even when their defense
Yeah.
didn't have it. Because if the one thing you're trusting is for Kirby Smart to turn around a Georgia defense and be like, all right, we're bad on defense right now. We can get better. I would trust that way more than being bad on offense and then get better. So I
Yeah.
think they're in a good spot heading forward.
Yeah. And I mean, Tennessee is definitely a good team. So, I mean, we knew that was going to be a pretty close game. And
Yeah, at Neyland, it's early in the
yeah,
year. They still believe that it's a tough environment. I don't think Tennessee they should be a two-loss team or under at the end of the
yeah,
year. It's a
yeah,
good football team. It's a really good football team.
yeah,
They should not blow up. If they blow up, then it's Josh Heupel's fault because this is the most talented team they've had since 2022 with Hendon Hooker. So,
next big game, close game again. Came down to within 20 seconds, I think, of the fourth quarter. Texas A&M, Notre Dame, Fighting
woo,
Irish. Man, I kind of feel bad for them. Two losses,
I don't.
combined total of 4 points. I mean,
I don't feel bad.
that's tough though. That's
It
tough.
is tough, but I heard all year last year and all season how good Marcus Freeman defenses are, how elite their secondary is. Just for them to get 40 ball their first two games. Um, you're not going to win football games if you give up consistently 40 points
Yeah,
against other teams. It's just not going to happen.
no. But I
Also,
mean,
NBC TV crew doing Tyler Buckner so dirty, showing him 30 times after he dropped the snap. That was kind of screwed up.
um, I honestly think they're kind of in the same situation as Georgia then if you really look at it. Because I mean, they put up 40 on A&M, and what did they put up? What was it, 24 or something on Miami? Something around there. Or,
Yeah, well,
but
I would say yes and no to that because we have two games of sample size for A&M. I mean, or for Notre Dame. I mean, sometimes you just get shell shocked. I think Georgia went on the road. Tennessee was just clicking. They were hitting all their passes. When that offense going good, it's also Josh Heupel is one of the best offensive coaches in the country. Notre Dame, you've gotten done up by Texas A&M and Miami. I mean, Miami's got a pretty good offense, and Texas A&M's historically had a pretty good offense, but never has really been elite. So it's two teams that have not really proven to have an elite offense that have done you in twice. Um, so a lot of questions are raised about the secondary now because all it's happened is has been to give it up almost 40 points a game. I mean, I guess the
I
Miami
mean,
game,
Miami was
Miami,
27.
yeah, but I mean, it felt like at the beginning of the game they were just getting right. So I mean, they did hold their own, but um, it it. it definitely does not feel like the same defense of last year. I know they lost a lot, but they do need to get that turned around.
Yeah. I guess staying in the SEC, Ole Miss, Arkansas. I know you
Oh,
had Arkansas trying to win that one, and they were in it
they were
really
until Buddy
good,
fumbled at
probably.
the end.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
And that's a frustrating game for them. I mean, I always want to see Arkansas kind of do well, but they haven't seemed to be able to get the big wins they need. I mean, last year they did beat
yeah.
Tennessee, but then they either get a big win and then fall apart to lower tier teams, or they just don't get any big wins and they can beat the lower tier teams.
So
So
bad
they
for
just,
Sam Pittman or Taylor Green. Not
yeah,
Sam Pittman. They're wasting Taylor Green. The man's a
yeah,
good football player.
yeah, yeah. He is a
If
good
they could
quarterback.
just guard anything to have any sort of defense, they would have won that game.
Yeah,
You let some dude literally from the coast of Jamaica come in there named Trinidad and just destroy you. Um,
yeah,
yeah, it it it's Arkansas is one of those teams where like they played Notre Dame at home in a few weeks.
yeah.
Um, it's one of those teams if they like just gave a spirited defensive effort one night, they could
Hmm.
beat almost anybody because Taylor
Yeah,
Green is almost impossible to stop.
yeah.
Um, but I I heard a comparison to him the other day. I forgot who said it, but somebody said it reminded him of a more athletic Colin Kaepernick. I don't know if I get behind that, but
I
it's
don't
interesting,
I never
interesting
watched
comparison.
game film of Kaepernick in college, so I don't really know what he brought to the table over there at Nevada.
It's a pretty accurate because they're both tall, long,
Yeah.
same throwing motion. But uh, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, but I was disappointed in Arkansas this week and really thought I had that locked for a little
That
bit.
was a good one. That was a good one. I mean, again, I won on a last second field goal, and same with Baylor last week. They won in overtime. So my picks have been cut in it close too. Um, but I guess the last big game might have been a surprise is Vandy just kind of running through Carolina again. I
Oh
only
yeah.
watched highlights. I know Lenore's got hurt. Do you know exactly what quarter that was? Um,
I think it was the second.
the second quarter, so
The
pretty
thing with
early.
South
So
Carolina though is they they lost so much off the defense last year that no one knows about.
yeah,
Their offensive line is still suspect, and a lot of that was getting masked by Lenoris the first 2 weeks. Um, Now that Virginia Tech game looks like a huge red flag. How bad they are.
yeah,
How close that game was for a long time. Um, I mean, Vanderbilt was probably the better team on paper coming in, and then you
hmm
lose Lenoris and then playing seventh year senior
yeah,
Luke Doty at QB. Like that looked like a South Carolina team from 5 or 6 years ago, where it was just like, oh, we know we're just gonna kind of roll over and hope we score a touchdown or two. You gotta hope he comes back and he comes back strong because Lenore Sellers is your whole team right now.
yeah, yeah,
I hope it gets better. It shouldn't be that way, but you're not getting really production from wide receivers. You don't really have a huge running game, and your defense is struggling to stop people. So it really came down to how many Superman plays can Lenoris make during the game to save us. And so if you don't have him, the game becomes a lot harder for you.
yeah,
Yeah, they go to Missouri this weekend. I don't like that spot, especially if Lenoris is even if he plays, if he's playing injured.
yeah.
Missouri is a good team. I don't know about that.
Because I feel like, yeah, too. Like, I mean, the big thing about Lenore's is obviously he's dual threat. So if he can't run, then it's probably not a lot of hope for uh, Carolina. there.
Yeah.
And Missouri's a good team. So I know they played each other last year at South Carolina, and that was a close game. But yeah, if hey, that's that's a tough loss for them, and I
Yeah.
don't know, it's not looking too bright over there in Columbia. But anyways, I all the other games are kind of, teams did what they were supposed to do. Still a lot of, power four versus mid major matchups or group of five matchups, and most of the power four teams did what they were supposed to do. So nothing else to
Hmm.
really cover on that. But I think it's time to get into that main segment. Um, Obviously, I wasn't able to watch that many games just because I was at the Purdue game myself for like 9 hours, and we had a 3 hour rain delay. So I had to go back and watch a lot of highlights and see what I could get from that. But anyways, first game, and I saw this actually because I was scrolling through Instagram and somebody pointed this out. But it's the last touchdown Texas A&M scores on Notre Dame, and there was a potential holding call that
Oh
was
yeah,
not
yeah.
called, and it is pretty blatant.
Yeah, he
It's
tackles him, doesn't he?
Yeah, yeah, it's pretty bad. Um, so I'll go ahead and just share that. Then they give you a good view after the touchdown too, but obviously we got fourth and goal too from the 11. A&M, you know, hikes the ball. And you see a Notre Dame guy, defensive lineman, break through, and then he just falls down.
I
Obviously,
mean,
Texas A&M gets the um, touchdown there. But here they'll they'll do a replay, and you'll get a better view of that line here. Let me pause it real
already
quick, and
showing Tyler
I'll slow
Buckner
it
again.
down.
MXP.
There we go. All right, just play it. So I think, is he going to do a stunt here? I think this is the guy that ends up
Okay.
getting tackled. I think he does a stunt. But anyways, we'll see. It's pretty blatant, and I'm surprised the back ref did not catch this at all. No, it's not even a stunt. He just beats him off the line, and
Yep.
bro just
Grabs
tackles
his
his
leg.
leg. Yeah, tackles his
Yeah.
leg and
So I mean,
forces him to the
I
ground.
can see two schools of thought here as a ref. It's not the right one, but like last play of the game, basketball, you
Yeah,
kind of just let it unless it's like a blatant PI. I feel like there's certain
yeah,
things they look for in the last play of the game. I feel like they're more
yeah.
inclined to let a holding slip. Um, I mean, yeah, but there's not really much to discuss on
It's
that. That's
yeah.
a you can't tackle somebody from behind after you get beat.
No,
Um,
it's
would
like
he have
I
made the
mean,
sack? Who
no,
knows?
he would have put pressure
Marcel was
on
already
him
rolling.
though.
He's already rolling
Yeah,
left, and he probably would have got the ball off anyway.
yeah.
Um, so I mean, I don't know, but it
But yeah,
is yeah. I don't even think there's much discussion on that. It's just a clear
no,
hold.
it's just yeah, clear hold. Um, Bad call or bad no call. Um,
Mhm.
next next games. Next games are Georgia versus Tennessee. And this is, end of the third, kind of a shootout here that's going on. I kind of noticed this. It's kind of minor, we'll watch the clip
Yeah,
and see
I
what
know
you
what play this
think.
is.
But I just, I felt like it was a good play to kind of discuss because again, Tennessee takes the lead on this play, which it's kind of
Mm.
big. Second and 6, Aguilar deep to Brazel. Honestly, that's a tough last name. I heard a nickname for him, Brazzle Dazzle.
Okay,
That's kind of tough. That's
okay.
kind of tough.
Yeah, I
But
know.
they'll slow it down here.
It's so hard. You could nitpick
Yeah,
almost every single wide
yeah,
receiver catch in football and say, "Ooh, that's PI. That's defensive PI."
yeah,
He got it, it wasn't the back, but he got his head turned around the DB Daniel Harris. He got his head turned around the ball and he jumped too early.
Yeah.
And so I think Brazel caught him on the way up when he started jumping, gave him a little nudge.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
obviously he's in a
Here. Yeah,
terrible,
right
yeah,
here.
he's got a hand on the back. They're both jumping for the ball. I mean, the grab is kind of that would be what
And
I
then
would think is a little,
yeah.
but it wasn't, it didn't look like it was enough.
Yeah.
It looked like he just kind of put his hand on him.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, you had like London Humphreys did the same thing on the last play of the game. The 4th and 7, he gave a little stiff arm before catching that ball. I mean, wide receivers are taught to do that. You're allowed to hand fight,
Yeah.
so it
Yeah.
I don't think that's just a football play. Just got beat. Um, he needed to
Well,
be in phase a
yeah.
little longer, and it just yeah.
Well, obviously it wasn't even that he got beat because he was right there with him.
He just
It's
got beat
just
in the
it's
air at that
yeah,
catch point.
it's just unfortunate because he's running full speed, wide receivers running full speed, so even just a little nudge to like throw you off balance and push you a little extra forward, like yeah, Brazel like obviously gave himself a little advantage there. Now I think because what I was looking for is obviously you do see the little push, but I'm kind of looking for that full extension. I feel like if Brazel
Yeah,
fully extended that push, they might have had something
yeah.
good to
He
call
just kind of
there.
gave him a little yeah.
But I think he didn't extend fully, so they were able to say a no call. Um, I'm fine with a no call there, especially with just hand fighting and stuff. But I do want to point out though, like when you are running that fast, even just a little nudge, like I felt like your
Yes.
DB had good positioning on to make an interception or at least a pass deflection
Yeah.
there. But
Georgia, for some reason, always has this thing where it just feels like every time I watch them, they cannot defend a deep ball. And it really frustrates me because it's like you play this amazing defense, you're always in phase, you're always in the right place, and you'll have a DB just blanketed on a wide receiver, and he just the very end of the play just jumps up, make a catch. Like it feels like it happens every time. So I don't know why they
yeah,
can't play the ball. You never see a Georgia DB win one of those or come
yeah,
down on it. It just like I mean, Alabama last year, yeah, like even like smaller teams will just throw go balls on Georgia. Seems like
yeah.
the recipe to beat them is just chucking as far as you can downfield and hope that your wide receiver catches the ball.
Did Brazel have two of those kind of where
He
he
did,
was
yeah.
hand fighting and then yeah, he was able to get a
hmm
okay.
The other one, the DB didn't get his head around and he thought the ball came in earlier, so he put his arms up and dove, and the ball came 5 seconds later. So
Yeah. But next game, couple calls in this game that, I thought they could have thrown a flag. Um, the first one here is Arkansas's first touchdown. I thought it was a pretty obvious false start. Um, you'll see here the left tackle. I felt like he got started pretty early there. Um, I'll go back and see if I can slow it down. We'll go 0.25. So that on the end there, that's left tackle, right? Is it left
mhm.
tackle? Yeah, that's left tackle. So I'm looking at the ball. Yeah, like I don't know.
Yeah, he
Like
knows a little bit. I mean, yeah.
I felt like I don't know. When
Was he doing that
honestly,
all game?
uh I don't know. Again, I didn't watch the game. I was just seeing highlights and like honestly when I in normal speed, it looks a lot worse. But for some reason when I slow it down here, it doesn't like yeah, he gets an early jump there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not
I
that,
would I would def
but
I mean, it's not egregious, but
you would
I
have
would
to be
probably throw
staring
the
right at it
flag.
to see
Yeah.
it.
Refs there probably just, you know, I forget if they have a guy on this bottom side here because I know they have the line judge up at the top, and
Yeah.
if he's the only guy looking down that line, he's not really going to see him get that early jump. Um, but I mean, obviously, looking here, I would have called false start. This ends up leading to an Arkansas touchdown.
Well, to be fair though,
But
he probably could have false started. It could have been 3rd and 21, and Arkansas might have still scored.
yeah,
So, so
that is true. Um, next one, try to think. Oh, I think this is on a Miss Ole Miss score. There's kind of a bit of a pick play that I didn't like. I thought they easily could have called it a pick play. Of course, getting the IHOP ads. Love IHOP ads, you know. Um, Probably need to get YouTube Premium so I don't have to get
YouTube
ads.
Premium. No, you can't get YouTube Premium. That's crazy.
No, it's pretty bad. Um, so I think it's 19 here, middle guy we're looking at. Um, I'll just go ahead and play it. So of course he goes out like he's going to run a route, but then he like intentionally comes back
Yeah.
to rub on that guy, which if I'm the Arkansas guy, like I understand why the refs didn't call this. If I'm the Arkansas guy, though, I'm running directly into him because that's not a
Yeah.
route. There's no way that was a route he was
I
supposed to run.
yeah.
Um
Is there? I can't remember though. Is there a rule where you can do that within a certain amount of yardage down the field? Like within like 5 yards,
what
can
is
you
it?
do
Is it
like
five
rubs like that?
yards?
I don't know. I'm not
I
too
don't
sure on
know.
that, but
I mean, where was the that I mean, that's technically
yeah, he
beyond
did
five
do it.
yards
But to be
anyway,
honest, he
or
didn't
is
make it was enough contact to throw him off, but it wasn't like he just like blindside blocked him. He
no, yeah.
it was a little nudge,
Yeah.
so he
Well,
kind of
that's
just
what
let him through.
yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. It was enough, like, obviously, as a ref, I'm not throwing the flag on that. There's not enough contact there.
Yeah,
Um, but I'm just saying from like the Arkansas DB's perspective, like, I'd rather just straight up run into the dude and they'll probably
yeah.
call it, you know?
The smart play by the
Um,
Arkansas. I mean
yeah,
the Ole Miss wide receiver. Yeah,
yeah, because he slightly nudged him off track, so he was a little slower to getting back to his spot, and obviously led for an opening for a touchdown throw here. But I don't, as an arc, like obviously he that number 19 was not making any attempt to run his
yeah,
intentional route. Like he would that was set up to
yeah.
for a pick play there,
It's a rub route,
and
but
yeah, and he was able, and it worked.
mhm,
Um,
yeah, good no call.
Last one here. I honestly forget. Oh, this was a play call. This was a play call. Um, this was the fumble that happened. Uh, this is not a penalty in question, but this was Arkansas's play call. So they run a wide receiver screen here. It's 2nd and 4, 2 minutes left, and I'm not a big fan of the screen. Like
Don't watch
you
Georgia
got
then.
like I don't know, like, cause then stuff like this happens. Like,
I mean, but like you picked up 3 yards on that play. Like
that's true,
it's
but then
not
it's
I mean, you can't really fault the play call for your receiver just fumbling the ball.
yeah,
So it kind of just like it's just one of those things. It is what it is. Like you don't know if they're look. I can tell you what he sees right here. He could have. I don't know if Taylor Green checked out of this, but you have two DBs that are 6 yards
hmm
off, and you have
yeah,
three wide receivers over there, and you have a stacked
yeah,
box. So
yeah,
that's winning numbers out there. So I know
yeah,
why he did it. A wide receiver missed a block like that. That is set up to be good. Yeah. If
yeah. Number
number six
six.
makes that block,
Oh, that was
that's
that a
a
face mask? Was that a face mask we just
I
saw?
don't know.
Hold up.
It wouldn't have mattered anyway.
No, it wouldn't have mattered. Yeah, he grabbed
Yeah,
his
it
face
was.
mask.
So it like you I don't know. I think that was, to be honest, not a bad play call. They just didn't execute it right.
Yeah, yeah. Well, anyways, we'll throw it out there. You think not a bad play call? They missed the face mask. They missed the face
Yeah,
mask call, but Ole Miss would have declined anyways. But
mm.
last game for the segment is Pitt versus West Virginia. Oh, shoot. we kind of forgot to
Big,
cover this one,
yeah, big
which
win from
this,
the Mountaineers this weekend.
yeah, was a big uh, win for the Mountaineers in the backyard brawl. But from these clips, I think you'll see that they probably should not have won. They should not have won. There was definitely a couple questionable
Oh
calls.
yeah,
And actually,
West Virginia's not a very good team this year, but they pulled it out.
yeah. But anyways, first clip, Pitt is on offense, and they're kind of driving here. I think it ends up being second and 10. I think it is right now. And they run this play. Oh my gosh, bro. If I get another IHOP
What's
ad.
the controversy here?
Controversy is they call on a block in the back on the Pitt wide receiver, but
Okay.
bro barely touches the man. Like there is like no contact. And the thing that really um, hurts Pitt on this is that they get the first down here, but then they get, because of the penalty, they get moved back and then they're unable to convert. And so they have to punt the ball away. Whereas if the penalty isn't called, they get the first down and they can keep their drive moving. And they're probably at least going to score 3 points here because because they're in field goal range after this play. Um,
Okay.
but and that 3 points probably would have helped them win the game at the end. But anyways, let's run it. Yeah, he's showing here. This guy's meant to set up a pick here, and
Okay.
number six kind
Yeah.
of went flying, and they called a block in the back there. Um, but I'm like, look how little contact he made. The
It's
guy
because the
like he
dude
just
dove.
yeah. I was
He
like he
looked way
dove,
worse.
but yeah, it looked way worse. But
I see why they
like,
called it. Yeah, it's little contact,
but
but the dude dove. That's why they did it. Yeah. It
yeah.
looked like it was way worse.
I'm like, he just put his hand on his hips and the guy dives and then they call. I'm like, bro, that's not
Yeah, it's
blocking
just
the back.
unfortunate. It
Come
did
on.
look bad though.
Yeah. Um, so anyways, next clip in the Pitt West Virginia game is just this goofy clip. I'm like, bro, what are you doing? So West Virginia fumbles the ball. You can kind of see it rolling
Yeah.
around, kicking it. Pitt's on defense. They get the ball. If if he gets in, he just throws it.
Why? Why?
And I can't I think I'm trying to think of who ends up recovering it, but I think West Virginia ends up getting yeah, West Virginia ends up getting the ball back. I'm like
Yeah, that's bad. Holy hell.
he picks
Why
it
do you
up
do
and he
that?
just chucks. I'm like,
Did he think he
coach
saw somebody there that could run it back?
probably he was probably trying to toss it up so he could like get it to his teammate. His teammate catches it and then runs it. But I know he's getting his ass chewed out in the conference room by
Oh yeah,
by
that
his coach.
film room's gonna be rough. That's funny.
Um, yeah, I was like, oh my gosh. When I saw that, I was watching the highlights and I couldn't believe it. I was like, what? Don't the coaches just tell you to get on the ball and just stay on that? And bro's not even upright. He's midair on his back and he just throws it up,
Yeah, that
hoping
was
his
bad.
teammates there. Next. All right. Making myself do way more editing because I don't know where the damn time is. All right. Pretty sure this is the play. If it's
Okay.
not, we'll find it. It's sometime around here. No, it's next one. Next play. That's good defense. Here we go. It's on number 18 here. Number four, he's got a little, and the guy
Give him a little wrap
I'm
around
like,
the hip. I'm wondering if the back judge, he probably saw it. If the dude wrapped his hip, he probably saw his arm around. That's what probably made him throw that flag, even if it was minimal.
I'm like, I don't know. Like, but what you just said, like close games,
Yeah,
big games. I guess here, let's go back a
I'd let
little
that one
bit.
slide, to be honest.
Again, number four, 18, battling down on the bottom screen. That's like
Yeah, that's touchy.
br-
I wouldn't call
number
that.
number four just did a great acting job. I wouldn't even call that act. It's not even a good acting job. He just like I, that's just not PI. And then obviously West Virginia gets way better positioning. Um,
Scores. Ends up winning the game.
scores, ends up winning the game. So I'm just like, don't like that's just a really bad call.
Yeah, I don't like that
But
either.
anyways, that wraps up the What's the Call segment. Um, you know, obviously each week we're going to get some questionable calls, try and cover them. But now we are looking ahead into week four,
Week 4.
right? Week
Oh
four
yeah.
of college football. Um, I I mean, we
There's a
talked
few
about
good
this
games. It's
before. You
not.
said you said you didn't like it. I looked at it. I felt like there's
It's
a
definitely.
decent
Well,
amount of good
I don't think I
games.
liked it compared to this past week. This
Yeah, this
past week
past
was
week
just a
was
great
hard to
week.
beat. Yeah, this past week was
You have
hard.
you have some telling games. Texas Tech, Utah. Those are two teams that people are like, oh, those teams could be pretty good. They have to play each other. Would love to see how that turns out. You got Auburn, Oklahoma. One of those teams has to lose. That both started off a lot better this season.
Mm-hmm.
Michigan, Nebraska. We'll see if
Yeah.
Nebraska's real or not in that game,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and we'll see if Florida has a pulse too. And then Missouri, we get to see how good Missouri is. How they haven't really played anybody. So I mean, South Carolina is obviously going to be their biggest test of the year so far.
Yeah.
So we'll see that. Um, yeah, that's about it. Clemson too. They need to watch out this week.
I don't know. Bro, you missing.
Uh,
You missing. You missing some. You missing some. Tulane, Ole Miss, both
oh yeah,
3 and
Tulane, Ole
0.
Miss. Yeah, that'll be a good game.
That'll be a good
I was
game.
scrolling through that. Was at the end.
Um, Illinois, Indiana, both both ranked.
Mhm.
I know you don't watch the Big Ten that much, but
It just
hey,
that game just
that's a
seems like
good that'll be a good Midwest game. I think Illinois will probably handle their business because Indiana again has had a cupcake first three games. They played Kennesaw State, Indiana State, and who else? I don't know. Some another not very good
yeah,
school.
Indiana, the classic Indiana non-conference.
And then we got I think it's going to be a good one. Late night, 11 p.m. on Fox, West Coast football, USC, Michigan State.
Oh yeah, that one
I
maybe.
think that'll
Yeah,
be a good one. I think
we'll
that'll
see
be a good
how
one.
we'll see how good USC is.
Yeah,
Um, then Texas gets to play a bad team for the fourth week, third week in a row. Um,
yeah.
Texas's schedule, it genuinely pisses me off how lucky they got. They got to play at Ohio State and then play three awful teams and then go to Florida, who's probably going to have a fired coach by the time they go. If Florida gets killed this week, Billy Napier's gone.
Yeah, yeah,
It's all about wrapped up.
yeah.
Um, yeah.
What if
Um,
Florida wins this week?
Florida wins this week. I mean, I mean, their season's still ahead of them. Then
Yeah,
if they win out, the playoff
yeah.
team.
Um, but I think, yeah, I think that Michigan State USC game will be good. I watched USC play again. They were at Purdue last weekend, and um, I could see how what people were saying. They had the highest scoring offense through the first 2 weeks, but
Yeah,
honestly, Purdue really handed them that game. Three big mistakes, three big red zone interceptions. But from what I saw from USC, I didn't see anything like, wow, that's a really dominant team, you
yeah,
know? Especially with Purdue still being in the rebuilding stage with their new coach and everything and try to putting stuff together after the terrible season they had last year. Um,
yeah,
USC didn't really, take my breath away or anything, and so we'll see what Michigan State how Michigan State handles them. So I look forward to watching that one. Um,
yeah.
and speaking of Purdue, they're going to play Notre Dame, 0-2 Notre Dame. Hopefully it's not the Purdue Notre Dame game like last year. I think Purdue actually has a chance to maybe come out on top.
Oh, is that
Now,
your upset
and
this week?
no, 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 no. That's not my upset pick. That's not my upset pick. I'm just saying I think they have a chance. Um, uh, why do I say that? Why they're not my upset pick? Because Notre Dame's still a good football team. They play two ranked teams. Um, uh, we'll see and they'll be hungry. They'll be hungry. They'll be angry.
Hmm.
So yeah. Um, but anyways, speaking of upsets, do you have your upset pick? I think I have
I
mine.
do. I have a game I think is going to be kind of sneaky. It's a 12 o'clock game. This team is coming off two losses. They're not used to losing. Um, I'm a little worried for Clemson this weekend because they might get into that game and the stadium's half full, three quarters full. There's no
Yeah.
energy there. Everybody thinks the season's over. You have Syracuse coming in, who's a scrappy team, and they're going to get better every week. They have talent. Um, if you don't start this game strong, it's going to be a fourth quarter battle. If they don't
Yeah.
come out and punch them in the mouth, get up 14-0, it's going to be like a one possession game at the end. And
Yeah.
if the fans aren't in it, if it's a 17.5 point spread, I would take the spread on that all day. I would even that's going to be my upset pick this week. I think Syracuse goes into Clemson and wins.
Nice. Yeah. I mean, that would that would definitely Clemson would be done. Done
Hmm.
for. Um, I think honestly, I think my upset pick, I'm going a little bit out on a limb, but watching them play Arkansas last week, I wasn't too impressed with them. I think I'm going to pick Tulane over Ole Miss. I'm going to get a little Green Wave action. I haven't watched Tulane play either, but I don't know. Both they've been building a good program, and like I said, I wasn't too impressed with Ole Miss last week. So that's going to be my upset pick. Um, and yeah,
Yeah, it's a good. I like that one.
should be another good week of college football.
Yeah,
Did you make any did you
yeah,
take any
yeah. So
lines? Any
we're back down to two this week. I'm 4-6 right now, which is not bad at all.
That's not bad, no.
I got two. It's a little different. Um, I was looking through these lines. Some of these lines are hard to tell this week,
Yeah,
but the ones I had my eye on were I saw Michigan 2.5. I think Nebraska is going to win that game, so I would take Nebraska money line and Nebraska to cover that spread, um, and win that game. I'm not impressed with Michigan. I, I think those teams are about evenly matched, but being at Nebraska, I think that gives them the edge. And then my other
yeah,
one is Miami versus at home versus Florida, 7.5 point favorite. I think they win by more. I think Miami wins by 14 plus. DJ's going to throw another two, three picks. It's going to come down to they're going to have to put the backup in. And I don't think Miami's defense can stop, or Florida's defense could stop Miami, especially without one of their best defensive players, Caleb Banks, in there. Um, I think it could get ugly this weekend. I hope it doesn't for Florida's sake. I hope you come out and show fight, but this game has the making of it getting up like 14, 17, 21-3, something like that, and it just the boo birds start flying for Billy, and hey, after the game, you know it's over. So those are my two this week. I'm not 100% confident in them, but I do think that uh they'll work. Um, yeah.
those sound like good picks. I'm going to throw one in there just for the
Okay.
heck of it. I would not trust this at all, but I was just looking at Wazoo money line is plus 900 against Washington. I don't know.
Oh
I would throw some money on Wazoo. I mean, I feel like that's usually a good game.
yeah.
The spread right now is 20.5 in favor of Washington, but I don't know. I feel like every time I watch that game, it usually comes down to the wire. So, I mean, money line, I would throw some money on
Yeah.
Wazoo.
And then two potential other ones were the Clemson game, Clemson 17.5. I could see that being a lot closer. And then I'm looking now at this Michigan State USC game. USC favored by 18 and a half. I feel like that's
Wow,
a little much for that game, especially
that is a
considering
lot.
how close they played Purdue last week. So I'd keep my eye on that one too. See if that fluctuates a little bit before the game starts.
Yeah. Well, think is that all? Think that's everything?
That's it.
Well, shout out to the viewers. Thanks for watching another episode of What's the Call? And again, don't be afraid to go follow us on Instagram or subscribe to the YouTube. Appreciate
Yep.
y'all for watching. See y'all next week.